Same thing, a little bit faster. Hey drummers, how's it going? And welcome to this week's exclusive lesson for you wonderful sponsors. I'm going to cut right to the chase. We've got this beautiful tom groove. It's made of sextuplets. Each, if you sort of break it down into 4 groups of 6, each one is ever so slightly different, and your hands are going to be moving all around the kit, making it as percussive as we possibly can. But fundamentally, you've still got the bass, snare, landing on beats like 1 and 3, and then the snares on 2 and 4. So you still keep that nice sort of like downbeat, backbeat flow, but then you've got all this glorious like tom work. We're going to bring the bell of the ride in, the hi-hats in there, and of course we've got some of that lovely crossover stuff. So if you like what you saw in the intro and you want to give this one a crack, stick around and I'll break it down just for you guys. Here we go. Alright, so we've got 4 groups of 6 to break down. The second, third and fourth are all just going to be straight hands, right, left, right, left, right, left, or obviously swap that around if you are left-handed. The first measure, which was the first block of 6, which we're going to look at, the first beat, is slightly different. We're starting off with a kick, then we've got like beat, the second note is split into 2 30-second notes, and then the rest of it's right, left, right, left. So if I go through that bit first, and then we'll sort of piece it together as we go, and then see if we can put in some sort of context where you can hear that underneath it you just got boom, da, boom, da, or 1 2 3 4 5 6, 1 2 3 4 5 6, 1 2 3 4 5 6, 1 2 3 4 5 6, with all this glorious garnish we're going to chuck on there with like bell of the ride, hi-hat, floors, snares, and all that sort of good stuff. So if I just play you like the first group of 6, it's going to sound like this, which on its own sounds weird, so it actually might make more sense to put that snare drum at the start of the second group of 6. So we get, sounds weird, but I'm going to break it down. We've got a kick for the first note. The second note is split into 2. And then we're going to play right, left, right, left. So we get this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so when I'm saying 2, I'm actually playing 2 notes. 1 is kick, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so when we get to 4, we're hitting the hi-hat. I love sort of like bringing out the and like of the groove by playing the hi-hat, especially when you're doing tom stuff as well. So that's going to be every time we get to the 4th note of our group of 6. That will always be an and if you're sort of counting it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. All right, just brings it to life a tiny bit. So kick 2, 3, 4, kick 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. Kick 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. Now beat 2 is going to be snare, high, floor, tick, floor, floor. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one's a bit easier. It's just your hands. Snare, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we got snare with the right, high to my left. Then we bring our right hand out to the floor, left hand to the hi-hat, another floor with the right, and then your left hand's going to join it over here. Might be worth at this point, I'll play it a bit faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Snare, high, floor, tick, floor, floor. Snare, high, floor, tick, floor, floor. If we now add beat 2 to beat 1, we get this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's play it a bit faster. Can I count and play? 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ish. Is that right? I'm confusing myself. There's sheet music to accompany this, so it's worth checking that out as well as listening to me ramble on. So that's your first half. See if you can just get that down, because if you wanted to, you could kind of just loop that. You definitely can. Just got to remember that when you go back to like the very start of the groove, it's just that kick on its own, and then we get that nice little injection of speed as we split that second note into 30 seconds, so you can maintain that right-left lead. Right, now we're on to beat 3. Now we've just done all of this. Now we're sort of in this position. We're now going to play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we're going to do some cool crossover stuff. So we bring the right hand over the top. 1, 2, 3. We've got 4 on the hi-hat again with the left hand. 4, 5, 6. And I like this. every time I'm hitting that hi-hat, just hit it with a little bit of venom so it really spits out at you every time you hit it. And then that's quite an easy one actually, so crossover, right, left on the floor, right on the floor, left on the hi-hat, right on the floor again, and then finish up with the left hand on the high top. Right, now this is going to lead into another snare drum, and then we're going to get snare, high, floor, tick, which I've used in another group before, I know I have, because it feels familiar. We're going to open that one so that when we actually close it, we're going to bring our other foot down to start the whole process again. And that's how it's going to sort of sound when you put it all together. So let's go through each one. We'll compartmentalise each group of 6. Kick, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Crossover. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you stand back down. Linking it all together. Now, of course, this drum beat comes to life when you play it a bit faster. And then get into groove. Like quite a slow, half-time, body one. And as you're playing, you should just feel that boom, da, boom, da. So you want to start with a groove, snare, boom, snare, boom, snare, boom, snare, boom, snare, boom, snare. I can't sing it and play at the same time. Alright, so generally play all your toms quite quietly because you want to hear every time that bass drum thuds down. So give your kick. A lot of kick, and then when you're hitting that snare, crack that rim shot. The notes you want to stand are basically kick, snare, and your hi-hat. Those little flicks up on there, and that'll make it sort of sing really nicely. And the tom will create quite a nice sort of padding. There's not really much more to explain. Once you've got like this, once you can like go from a basic groove. Etc. Then it gets a lot easier. Just be careful not to attack the first 2 toms really hard, because that might just throw off your flow a tiny bit. You want this to be nice. So I'm not coming in with a big like whip of the wrist on there. I'm sort of playing, keeping my sticks angled down, and then flicking that wrist for the hi-hat note. Got to get the bell in there. Ah, there it is. I think once you get past that first beat, that first group of 6, the rest of it is all pretty simple. It's just if you've done any of the fills or the drum beats that I like doing in the past, where you start moving your hands around the kit, it looks way more impressive and sounds way more harder than it is. That's terrible English. Way more difficult than it is. Just ignore me today. I don't know why. I've just filmed another lesson beforehand, so my brain's slightly fried. But yeah, what I'll do, I'll just quickly jump up there. I'll show you a few different speeds, and then go and have some fun with it. Just use the concept, because essentially all we're playing, if we're just playing off the hi-hat, is okay, you can kind of hear it. Okay, because that left hand's pretty much always hitting the hi-hat on beat 4, so we just accent it if we're playing on the hi-hat. But that little sort of like, almost like a rough, sounds really nice when you get that little flick on the left hand afterwards. In fact, I probably should have started off with that, because at the core, that is the drum beat. Kick 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, with a bit of a lift at the end. proper waffly lesson this one, but hopefully the groove will make up for it. So I'm going to now shut up, pop up there and play it, and then come say goodbye. So here we go. All right, so let's just start off with the groove on its own, relatively slow. So here we go. All right, let's do a similar thing, but we'll go a bit faster. Once I've done a few rounds of this, I'll then just drop into like a basic boom, tick, bah, tick, so you can sort of hear how it all fits together. So here we go. One more. That was an unclimactic end. Same thing, a little bit faster. Alright guys, so there it is. I hope you enjoyed that one. I had a lot of fun putting this one together. It's one of those ones where you're kind of like just jamming out and putting together little ideas and maybe bring in some of the concepts and ideas you had from like previous drum beats and sort of start mixing it up, and then you come up with something new and fresh. And that's exactly what happened, so I thought I'd share it with you. So if there are things or elements of this particular groove that you recognise, that's why, because sometimes you sit down, have a little play, stick on a backing track, see what comes out, and then you just find yourself in this loop of, oh, this feels quite nice, which is why it probably wasn't as concise as it could have been in terms of teaching it, because I didn't really plan it too much. But either way, I hope you enjoyed it. It's a fun groove to play, or at least I think so, and I hope you do too. Once again, thank you for being sponsors, and I'll see you very soon for some more drum lessons for you beautiful, beautiful sponsors. All right, catch you later. Bye.